All right, Shalom. This is Power Thumb of the Great Millstone Houston Camp, back with another lesson to edify the elect of the nation of Israel. So before I begin, as always, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shah, Ba'asham, for Chakwadash, the bonus to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of the Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, salutation to the elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and all Israelites scattered abroad, who have received this truth and who will endure in the truth unto the end. And the saints shall be saved by our Lord Yahweh Shah when he returns during World War III. All right, to destroy his enemies, starting with Esau, Edom, in America, and deliver the elect and set up the kingdom of heaven, which is the kingdom of Yahweh Shah and the Israelites. All right, so I wrote this phrase down in the Google, which is the handwriting on the wall meaning. And I'm going to read the AI review and get some precepts. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying unto the elect. And it reads, the handwriting on the wall means there are clear signs or a strong indication that something bad, unpleasant, or a major failure is about to happen, serving as a warning of impending doom or misfortune. And the prophets being on the scene is one of those signs and handwritings on the wall as a indication that something bad, unpleasant, or a misfortune is about to happen. And those three adjectives cannot describe how bad it's about to get. This is Jeremiah 28:8, and the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. All right. So the prophets before us and the prophets before Jeremiah have always come to warn and to say what's going to happen to this country or great kingdom before it happens, serving as a warning of war, all right, of evil, which is bad times, and of pestilence. Okay, so the prophets of Great Millstone are being served as a warning or a sign of danger, which is the handwriting on the wall. There's just one of them. All right, we're hearing of war, which is ultimately the war that's going to end all wars, which is going to be fought in the Levant. All right, Israel is going to be a main component in starting that war, dragging America into that war against Russia and its allies like Turkey, Iran, China. All right, so on and so forth, to where it's going to boil down to where these nations, including the EU nations, are going to shoot ICBM missiles equipped with thermonuclear warheads. All right, over here to America to fulfill the ultimate prophecy of Babylon the Great being destroyed. All right, let's see. This is Revelation 18 and 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. All right, so once America is destroyed by thermonuclear fire and the smoke clears and the dust settles, you will have desert creatures over here, and that's all that's going to live over here. Verse 3, for all nations have drunken of the wine, which is her Americanization, her democracy, of the wrath of her fornication, which is a destructive philosophy, a destructive way of living. And the kings of the earth had committed fornication with her, meaning made deals, got into contracts, okay, with her have laid down and made deals with her. And her merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. All right, so the merchants of the earth, the traders, the exporters, all right, have gotten rich off of America because America is a consumer country. So we're seeing these scriptures could not be applied to the ancient Babylon or any other kingdom on this planet. Not what you had the false prophets saying that this Babylon, and scholars saying that this Babylon applies to the Vatican, and that's off. Okay, the world is not following the philosophy of the Vatican, where people are walking around, and with the Roman Catholic doctrine and the whole get up of of the Vatican. Okay, the whole world is not getting rich off of the Vatican. The whole world is following Americanization, all right, with Taco Bells and McDonald's, and the whole idea of big box stores and huge corporations, all right, so on and so forth. Okay, the entertainment coliseums, okay, the music industry. The whole world is following after the pattern of America. All right. Yep. I'm going to jump down to the 8th verse, and it says, "Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, who judges her." All right. So we're seeing war. That is a handwriting on the wall. The prophets are prophesying that there's war of bad times to come. Already we see. Let's go here to 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, "Measure thou the time diligently in itself." And what's the tool of measurement? The prophecies. Okay? The prophecies of the scriptures are the tool of measurement. So we're measuring the time that we're in according to prophecy, because the word of the Heavenly Father is the dictator of time. I'm going to finish reading this off. It says, again in the AI review or overview, the idiom or phrase comes from a biblical story in the book of Daniel, where a mysterious hand writes a prophecy on a wall. All right, and that's what we're dealing with. Okay, that's the main focus of our time, prophecy, which means to say before, foretelling the downfall of King Belshazzar. So we have prophecy foretelling the downfall of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, which symbolizes a predetermined fate or judgment, right? For which applied back then and which applies now to you Edomites, which was, when you read, it says, meaning a clear warning or sign that failure, disaster, and an unpleasant outcome is coming. All right, so you just input these Edomites right here, because these signs, okay, are an indicator that we about to get up out of captivity. Okay, it says a clear warning or a sign that failure, disaster, or unpleasant outcome is coming. Yeah, for you Edomites. The origin, the Bible, Daniel 5, where a hand writes, which was a so-called black hand, writes many, many tekel upharsin on a wall at a feast, foretelling the end of King Belshazzar's reign, which was the end of the Babylonian, empire's reign, the Neo-Babylonian empire's reign. And then after that came Medo-Persian Empire. All right. See the writing on the wall means to recognize these signs and understand that something bad is likely to occur. Okay. After these 3 consecutive losses, the team saw the writing on the wall and the coach was fired. All right, so we're seeing consecutive prophecies, which are the handwriting on the wall that Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is about to go down. Second Ezra 9:1, and he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself by prophecy. And when thou seest part of the signs past, the prophecies which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made, using Yahushua. Ultimately, it's going to boil down to Yahushua coming back to destroy Esau and delivering the elect of the Israelites. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, and we're seeing earthquakes, okay? What I got to do is go to the earthquake website, all right, and see how many earthquakes and natural disasters that's occurring. And it says, an uproars of the people in the world, and we're seeing the whole world in the uproar because the so-called white man is in rulership. And when the wicked is in rulership, the people mourn, all right? And that's what we're seeing, mourning because of corrupt governments, all right? Because the elite of these governments are feeding their own pockets and neglecting to take care of the nation that's upholding the countries, all right? Another prophecy, Revelation 13:16, and it reads, and he calls it all these Edomites, all right, using the EU countries, all right, and the NATO countries in America. He calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. Speaking of people, all right, to receive a mark, this word mark in a Greek is charagma. The next Greek word is charax, all right, which is the syringe. The market, the charagma, is the RFID NFC chip. All right, and the next Greek word for mark is grapho, which is all your information is going to be placed in that subdermal device, which is subdermally putting you through the Karax. All right, it says mark in that right hand or in that forehead. You have the forehead here with Neuralink in different companies like Neuralink. All right, it says that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. So you're not going to be able to go to your grocery stores. You're not going to be able to have a business. All right, you're not going to be able to do anything when this system is fully implemented, as far as buying anything or selling anything. All right, so the whole way of life in this planet Earth is about to change. The whole transaction part of this world is about to change. All right, the whole infrastructure is changing. Okay, we're already hearing the WEF, the World Health Organization, and the WHO. All right, which the WHO is, let's see, right, WHO and wealth. Let's see, wealth, World Health Organization is the WHO, and then you got wealth, World Economic, I forget, all right, exactly the acronym for wealth, but I'll look it up. So like you, all right, so you got the forehead and the hand. We're seeing, all right, the infrastructure being built and the talks, okay, well, the different companies creating these devices, all right, and the talks of implementing these devices into everyday society, which is the handwriting on the wall. Prophecy being fulfilled as a sign of Esau, the so-called white man's downfall. All right. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, say he that hath the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, which is 666, which is in your barcode. All right, which he wants to make you a perpetual slave. He wants to make you, okay, the commodity, which you already are, but he wants to make you a perpetual slave. And if you take this chip, All right. Revelation 14, 9 and 10. Okay. Revelation 14, 9 and 10. And the third angel followed me, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast, which is believe in his system, okay, in his image, and receive his mark, his device, in his right hand or in his forehead, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, judgment, which is poured out without mixture in the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone. Here, this is exclusively here in America, thermonuclear fire, in the presence of the holy angels, in the presence of the Lamb, and the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever. That's a long period of time, not literal, just poetic. And they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast in his image, whoever received a mark of his name. All right. So even if you follow this devil and, consent until, the mark, you still be had in derision. You're still going to ultimately be catching hell until you get, you be judged or put in this lake of fire, which the majority of you Israelites, this who it applies to. Okay, this is the hour of temptation. This who it applies to. You Israelites that take this chip are going to be left here in America to be destroyed. If you take it anywhere else in the world, you're going to be destroyed. You're not going to receive salvation when our Lord Yahweh Shah returns. All right, so Lord willing, this lesson was edifying unto the elect of the nation of Israel, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, Barakatham, Shalom.